When it comes to sports in Lorain, your station to watch is TV 20, Lorain City Schools Television.
Good afternoon and welcome to Johnnie Wilson Middle School for 7th and 8th grade volleyball, LEL Middle School League style. Tonight, the 7th grade Lady Eagles, or Lady Titans as we call them, as everybody is a Titan now, take on the Milkovich Mustangs from Maple Heights. For Lorain in the first game for Coach Brianna Joyner, we will see number 19, Haley Metlicka, number 8, April Torres, number 26, Hydea Swiggett in the back row. Across the front, 13, Raven Earl, 23, Abby Carrington. And Abby's in front of the 6th player. Apologize, we'll get her in a minute. First serve away, and on the missed return, that the third player in the front row is number 3, Hannah Leary. Serving is Metlicka, 1-0 Wilson. On the ace, will make it 2-0. Again, a lot of middle school sports, especially at the 7th grade level, is developmental for a lot of these kids on both teams. It's the first time they've played the sport in an organized manner. Next serve up and in. Another ace as he stayed in. Substitution for Maple Heights, number 8, Alexandria Keith into the lineup before we get a chance to set it. In the middle, deep, Adriana Matthews, number 25. Metlicka to serve again. This one away. Matthews, the sub, bumps it up and out. So it goes to 4-0. I think the scoreboard's got it wrong. Metlicka again. Ball away. Bump. Errant reception, and it's 5-0. Try to get some more of the Maple Heights players in. Number 1 is Briari Robinson, who attempted to receive that. Bump up, off a teammate, and another service winner. Front row for Maple, number 15 is Tiana Green on the near side. Metlicka again, deep middle. Pass, hit, and down 7-0. Ball is up, into the net, and under, and it's 8-0. Haley Metlicka has served 8 in a row. Next one up, short middle, to the bench and down. To be fair to Maple Heights, as the coach looks a little bit frustrated, they just got off the bus. The bus was late. They warmed up for about 10 minutes and away we go. However, what they're not doing is doing any kind of communicating. Metlicka, pass and down. 10-0. We play 3 best out of 3 matches. A game is 25. Maple Heights calls time. It's 10-0. And the coach looks at his team and gives them the open palms, what's up gesture. But it does give me a chance to mention that a longtime friend and employee at Lorain City Schools, Kenny Clark, was recently diagnosed with lung and brain cancer in July. And Kenny's having a real difficult time, he and his family. Kenny was the groundskeeper for many years at George Daniel Stadium, did a great job keeping the place in line, the beautiful grass field. And a benefit is being held to help Kenny and his family out on October 18th. It's a steak fry. Tickets are $20 a person. It is at the Wheelhouse Restaurant on California Avenue in Lorain. We'll get you some numbers in a minute. Back in, Metlicka, service winner, 11-0. Comes another sub for Maple, number 14, Angela Langford in. And replaces number 25, Adriana Matthews, in the back middle. Maple's replaced two of 2 of the 3 in the back row and still have yet to hit the ball back over the net. Metlicka up, and that one's out. So after an 11-point run, Metlicka turns the serve over to Maple for the first time. Number 5, Shariah Bell will serve. This may be the first time Maple gets the ball over the net, Bob. There it is. Carrington bumped up, and Metlicka tries to send it over, and it's short. So we'll go 11 and 2. Bell to serve again. You'll notice in the 7th grade game as we go here, most of these players will serve the ball underhanded. There's Bell. Over to Lurie. Lurie sends it back to Bell. Set. Sent over by Maple. Metlicka up. Lurie. Carrington over. Into the hole, down, but it's passed. Set. Thrown over with 2. Lurie sends it right back into the middle. Setter. Bumped over. And down on the Maple side. 12-2.2 Wilson. And new server for Johnny Wilson up. On the line is number 13, Raven Earl. 12-2 Johnny Wilson, game 1 of 3. Raven sets it down the line, pass, bumped up and over. Back to Lorraine, but bumped out of play by Swiggett, and the serve will go over at 12-3. For Maple, number 19, Destiny Jones on the line. Longtime Lorraine on the sports scene, Bill Tippy. There's an overhand serve. That was Torres that returned it. And it goes over and down. Back to Lorraine. Number 23, Abby Carrington for Wilson. 13-3 Wilson. Overhand serve into the hole, down, and a winner. 14-3. See Carrington with the overhand serve. This is where you want to end up. There's a good knuckling serve for an ace as it's missed. 15-3. As you learn the fundamentals, and everyone learns them at a different pace. The overhand serve, I'm sure they all work on them in practice, but it's a matter of getting comfortable. Deep middle, bumped up, again, up near the net, hit over, and out, hit the wire. So that'll go back to Lorraine. You see the 2 red and white striped wires, which may be difficult to see on your TV, but those are out of play. It's not like football where they're in. Those are out. Overhand serve into the net, and 16-4 for the Eagles. Substitute for Maple, number 13, Katrina Johnson, back off the bench to play the front row. Started the game and came out. Tiana Green, number 15, will serve for Maple. She's going to throw it up overhand and bang it to the back row. Metlicka, Earl. And out of play. 16-5. Again, Green to serve. Overhand serve to Coach Pegham, and it'll be 17-5 on the service error. Back to the Eagles. Number 3 is Hannah Lurie. I think Hannah serves the ball overhand as well. Gathers herself, toss, and ace. 18-5. Ball up again, and toss, and deep back row, another ace. Now, you may not be able to believe me from this game, but Maple Heights and Lorraine are the 2 preeminent volleyball programs in the Lake Erie League. And we've done all of the games with the Maple Heights as there's a service error, 19-6. Serve goes over to Maple, or 18. It is 19-6. They didn't credit a point, I don't think. Well, we'll have to go with the scoreboard in 18-6. Serving for Maple, number 1, Briere Robinson. That serve goes out, and now on the service error, 19-6. Now serving for Lorraine, April Torres, number 8. Overhand serve, pass, setter, knocks it over, Metlika up, over, comes back, Metlika again into the net and down. And they have fixed the score, so it's now 20-7. On the service error, goes over to Maple, and Maple number 14, Angela Langford to serve. Ball up, overhand serve. Metlika, pass, set, and down, over, back row, caught, but not for the out. 21-7 Lorraine. Service over, back to the Eagles. Number 26, Hidea Swiggett, will serve for Lorraine. Lorraine needs 4 points for the first game of the match. Swiggett says, why not try it if you're not going to try it now? So she throws it up overhand and swats, and it's an ace. Caught the top of the net and down, 22-7 Lorraine. She looked over at Coach Joyner as if to say, should I try it? And she did. And like I say, you can tell they've been working on them in practice. There's a little bit more confident stroke, but knocked it just wide with a lot more on it. 22-8 Lorraine now. And Maple Heights back with number 13, Katrina Johnson, on the line. Underhand serve. Earl. And that one bumped over and down, 22-9 all Lorraine. Game 1 of 3. The ladies, 7th grade ladies from Johnnie Wilson, General Johnnie Wilson, on top 21-9. Back over, bumped up, back row, down, point to Lorraine. 22-9 as the serve goes over, and Metlika, who started this game, serving the first 11 points, is back on the line with her underhand serve, bumped over and down. Winner, 23-9. Again, serve. That was wide. And over to Maple at 23-10. Maple Heights, number 5. Shariah Bell serving for the second time. Served a point before turning it over. Carrington bumps it up. Earl up, over, and out. 23-11. Bell again. That one's over. And that one's knocked wide by Hannah Lurie and out, 23-12. That one's going to come up just a bit short, and it's going to go 24-12. Service over to Lorraine, game on the line. And number 13, Raven Earl, will serve. Raven going to stick with the underhander. Gets it up and short. 24-13. Back to Maple. Maple number 19, Destiny Jones, on the service line. First time server for her. Ball up, swatted over, bumped up, Torres over, comes back. Metlicka sends it over. Set, pass over. Carrington throws it right back. Set wide, and game number one belongs to the ladies from Johnnie Wilson, 25-13. As the teams change benches and get ready for game number two, we'll step away for a moment and be back with more volleyball right after this timeout.
I started mentoring my mentee, Dantre, 4 years ago. I always thought about doing it. It always seemed like a good idea.
We were both nervous when we first met, but everything kind of fell into place.
Mentoring is important to anyone that's pretty fortunate in life to have a little bit of time to pass on that knowledge.
Etienne's a very close friend. I look at him as a brother and a father figure. He taught me just focus on the big picture because I would like to give back just like Etienne gave back to me. Be someone who matters to someone who matters.
Back here at Johnnie Wilson for game two, 7th grade volleyball. The ladies from Wilson on top, winning game one, 25-13. Front row for Wilson as we begin the second game. Number 19, Metlicka. Number 23, Carrington, are the outsides. And can't get a look at the number in the middle. Number 12, Tanzania Hildreth in the middle. Back row middle is Nadia Alvarez. Ball up and over, and it's an ace. Dropping in front of Hannah Lurie. Server for Maple, number 18, Akira Crawford. Now, from what I remember of seeing Maple last week, we'll see a whole different crew here. So because the first game went one way doesn't mean anything. There's a service error. Ball falls short, and it's 1-1. Lorraine rotates, and Metlicka goes back to the line where she served 11 in a row to open the first game. Underhand serve over, short, bumped up, sent back over, but wide. 2-1 Lorraine. Front row now for Lorraine, number 3, Hannah Lurie. Metlicka again, same spot. No communication and some uncertainty, and it goes wide, 3-1. One thing for certain, you better communicate in team sports. And that's as much of anything as these ladies have to learn. That serve fails to make it, and on the error, it goes back to Maple at 3-2. Lorraine. Now, okay, some confusion as Maple needed to rotate so that the next server comes in, so they'll take a timeout down 3-2. Johnnie Wilson on top of the second game, 3-2 after an easy 25-13 win in the second game. This is on tape, and I can tell you that when we were here last time, there was quite a bit larger crowd for the game, but one thing that's kind of in conflict tonight is it's 5:30 Lorraine time. In about a half hour, the homecoming bonfire will begin at Lakeview Beach. I'm sure that Joe Bach is down there covering it, so that'll be another event on Channel 20 that you can look forward to see as the hits just keep on rolling from WLCS Channel 20. I think back to the way it was and the way it is now, and my, how we have grown. So for Maple, number 7, Jasmine Angel on the line. 3-2 Lorraine. Ball up and over. Carrington's going to bump it up, trying to pass there into the net and down off of Lurie. Back to Maple, who ties it at 3. And yet again, Jasmine Angel. Underhands it up and not going to get there. 4-3 Lorraine on the service mistake. And they'll rotate, and on the line for Lorraine, number 12, Tanzania Hildreth. She's going to go with the underhand style. Tosses it up and bangs it over. Deep middle. Beck comes right back. Bumped up. And that was one of those, no communication. I'll take it. You got it. Nobody gets it. And Lorraine picks up a point at 5-3. Again, Hildreth. There's the whistle, and Hildreth signal to serve, bangs it up and over. Short, sent back. Sent back over by Alvarez, and out on the wide ball. Maple will get a point and the serve. 5-4 Lorraine. Maple will rotate, and the new server will be number 16, Kashani Cullum. (5-4) Titans. That's a good deep serve. Metlicka pass. Carrington up with one hand, but nobody to home. And the ball is down at 5-all. Lorraine got caught sleeping a little bit there on the deep serve and not prepared to move their feet. Underhand up. Sent up and over. Maple bumps. Brings it back into play. Tossed over, but wide. Called in. And Maple on top, 6-5. They've had the lead twice in this game. Once at 1-0 and now at 6-5. Never led in the first game. Serve away again. Up and over. Right back. Bumped up. Set and sent wide. And that'll tie it at 6. And bring it back to Lorraine. And number 23, Abby Carrington. Carrington with the overhand serve, swats it into the hole for an ace. 7-6 Eagles. And again, that one she got a little bit more of, but the toss wasn't as good, and on the service error. There's just way more moving parts that can go wrong on the overhand serve, which is why it takes a while to master. Number 3, Jalea Iverson to serve for Maple. Bumped over with one hand, set up, into the net though. Swiggett went under the net. Alvarez bumped it into the net, and Swiggett tried to dig it up. Maple point, 8-7 Milkovich. There's a serve that's just not going to get there. And that'll tie it at 8. Serve will go over to Lorraine. And number 3, Hannah Lurie. We're tied at 8 in the second game. Johnnie Wilson winner of the first game, 25-13. Ball up and hits the post and out. 9-8 Maple. And as they rotate for Maple on the line, number 8 is Alexandria Keith. Substitution for Maple, 19, Destiny Jones out. Number 7, Jasmine Angel in the middle. Checking the rotation now for Maple. Some confusion. Maple calls time to figure out where everybody needs to be. As we say, I mean, part of the difficulty here, 7th grade sports, a lot of times are the first organized competition that these, in this case, young ladies are involved in, and it just takes some time to get things organized. This is as much about organization and teamwork as it is about skill at this level. You have to learn to play on a team. You have to learn to stay organized. You can't, in any sport, just have 6 individuals or 5 individuals or how many ever it is doing their own thing. And these young ladies from both of these teams are working on just that, as well as the bump, the set, the spike, and the serve. Horn sounds. Maple now asks for help from the official to get lined up. So Mr. Tippy, member of Lorraine Sports Hall of Fame, goes over and tries to help out. That's the other thing at this level, that you don't officiate this level for very long without understanding that this is developmental. So now he goes through the lineup card that he's holding, goes over to check with the table. And we'll wait and get it right and do it once. But I did promise you some phone numbers for the benefit for Kenny Clark. Might be a good time to get those in. As we said, $20 per person. It's October 18th. It's a Saturday. It's at the Wheelhouse Restaurant at the West Yachting Club on California Avenue, east side of Lorraine. Tickets, call Tina, 440-949-9416. Call Tara, 440-308-9625. Or call Amber, 440-308-8693. Kenny Clark is one of the good guys. So if you get a chance and you're able, let's see if we can help him out by attending the fundraiser. Mr. Tippy returns from the scorer's table to the Maple Heights huddle as my buddy Bob Schlenbaker flashes the crowd a little bit, and now looks like Mr. Tippy is ready, and the ladies from Maple Heights will come out of the huddle. And on the service line, there was substitution was for the wrong player. That's what it was. Destiny Jones, number 19, will serve. No, she won't. Now she sent the ball over. And the lineup mistake makes it 9-9, and the Maple coach lines them up. On the line for Lorraine is 24, Nadia Alvarez. So Maple organized now. Alvarez to serve. Tied at 9s in the second game. Underhands it over. Passed up. Set, bumped over on a dink, and Metlicken unable to dig it out of there, and Maple goes back on top 10-9. And rotate in now, number 8 for Maple. Alexandria Keith will be on the service line. This was the mistake the last time that cost them a point. They had the wrong server up. Keith. On the underhand, over to Metlicka, sends it back over. Keith bumped up and on the ground for the turnover. Tied at 10 and 26. Swiggett, Hidea Swiggett will serve. Looks like she's going to go with the overhand variety. Deep one. Bumped up into the net and down, and Lorraine goes back on top, 11-10. Ball up, ball swatted, ball not making it, ties it up at 11. So the winner followed by the service error, and we're just kind of going back. We've been tied at 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and now 11. So this has really been a back and forth kind of struggle. Number 18, Akira Crawford on the line. She was the opening server for Maple, had an ace to start the game off, and then turned it over at 1-1. That one, she was over the line on the foot fault and into the net, so it'll go over to Lorraine on the error. 12-11, and for Wilson, Metlicka will be on the line. Served 2 points earlier in the game and also had the first 11 in game number 1. Haley Metlicka underhands it up and over, and ace. 13-11. And there's where the teamwork has to come in. The Maple player, Crawford, didn't know whether to play it or not. Nobody helped her, so she let it go, and it was in. Oftentimes, the player that's going to have to hit the ball has the worst look at it. Metlicka up and over, and again misplayed, and Lorraine on top, 14-11. Again in play, bumped up. Again bumped, back row, sent up. It's not going to make it, and when it doesn't, it'll be 15-11 Lorraine. Metlicka on another little roll here. (15-11). Johnnie Wilson, 7th grade on top. Game 2. They lead 1-0 in the match. Up and over, short. Going to end up wide on the bump. And it's 16-11. Nobody called it. 2 players went for it. When you see that, you usually end up with a mistake. And that's what that was. And Lorraine stretches the lead out to the biggest of the match for either team at 16-11. Underhand serve into the middle. Not going to be able to be dug out of there on the sliding attempt, and it's 17-11. There's a deep ball, bumped up, tapped over, back by Carrington, down for a winner. And it's 18-11. And I'll tell you that Haley Metlicka must have the most powerful, productive underhand serve that there is, because she now has run off 6 in a row on top of the 11 she ran off in the first game. That one's going to be wide, and it's 18-12. The score, not the war. And Maple will rotate in number 7. Jasmine Angel will go back to the service line, trailing by 6. Referee Tippy calls for the serve. Angel underhands it over in the middle. 2 go for it, and again, the confusion results in the ball going wide. Both were in position. All we need is somebody to say it's mine. Ball up and over. Carrington bumps it up on the pass. Set, and Carrington with the one-hander down. Nicely done. Hannah Lurie with the set, and Carrington with the hit. 19-13. Lorraine by 6. They rotate, and for the Eagles, number 12, Tanzania Hildreth back to the service line. Served a point in the first rotation of this game. Underhands it up deep. The player that called for it backed away, and it resulted in a winner, as Angel wasn't looking for it and took it off the shoulder. Hildreth up again, short, going to be an ace. 21-13. Again, if I were to tell you that the Maple Heights varsity is the most impressive volleyball team I've seen this year, you probably wouldn't believe me based on this, but it's the way the program grows. I think they've got 2 Division I volleyball players on their varsity. Hildreth up, over, deep, played up, but bumped again into the middle and over. Played up by Carrington with one hand. Metlicka brings it back in, sends it over. It's over, brought back by Alvarez, bumped up by Maple twice, and tried to send it over, but the one-hander is short, and it's 22-13. So what was a close game, tied as recently as 11-11. Lorraine on 11-2 run right now, and that winner is going to make it 23-13. The call for serve, Hildreth, swing and a miss. And it'll go over, 23-14 on the error. And Maple will have the serve with number 16, Kashani Cullum. She served a point earlier in the match. That one's up, and it's not going to get there, and it's 24-14. Lorraine a point away from the match now with Carrington. Carrington served a point. There's an overhand into the hole, and that's going to be a winner, and 25-14 is going to do it. So in two, 25-13, 25-14. The ladies from Johnnie Wilson in the 7th grade move on with a 25-13, 25-14 win over Milkovich Middle School out of Maple Heights. We'll be back with the 8th grade game right after this timeout.
This has been a production of Lorraine City Schools, TV 20 WLCS.
To purchase a high-quality copy of the program you just viewed, please call Lorraine City Schools Television at 282-8400.